Good to go? Yes, sir. All right. Our Thursday night started off crazy with the Bills versus Dolphins. Bills take the win 31-10. Biggest thing to take away from that is Tua. And he has announced that he is going to come back to play football some more once he gets approved by medical doctors. So, what are your thoughts on that one, Sam?
It's really sad that he got concussed with a hit that didn't really seem like it was a hit that should have caused as much damage.
Yeah.
So that's the concern. It's not my decision to make. I don't think it's anybody's decision to make, whether he plays or retires. I hope his family is strongly encouraging him to retire and to think about this, because it seems like it's getting worse. I don't think fans want to see a guy get messed up on the field, and we definitely just want to see somebody be healthy, but it just seems like it's going to be a career injury prone thing. I don't know. It's tough to take that decision away from the man, but it's getting scary.
Yeah, I think at this point, he's 4 concussions within the last 4 years or so, going back to 2019. So they're piling up, man. I don't know
that we know.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, he definitely could have more.
Yeah.
So I think personally he's got $100 million guaranteed no matter what. Sometimes you probably have to look at the picture and be like, what's better for the longevity of my life, my family? Is it worth it to not be able to remember certain things for your family's life, your children, things of that nature, just to play football? I don't know if it really is, but I hope so, that he can find some solace and stop, with these concussions. But what they say, when you get one, it's like super easy to start getting another one after that. It just roll off like that. So
absolutely.
So going on to Sunday here, me and you were at the good old bar on Sunday watching some games here. So the Buccaneers beat the Lions 20-16. The Saints put a whooping on the Cowboys 44-19.
Woo! It got steamrolled.
Absolutely. The Packers come on in, and unfortunately, for the shoe, the Colts didn't get the win here. They lose 16-10. The Seahawks, in a thrilling overtime kick here, beat the Patriots 23-20. The Toilet Bowl, the Commanders beat the Giants 21-18. The Chargers put the whooping on the arguably worst team in NFL, 26-3 on the Panthers. And they said that they're going to bench.
Yeah, I was just going to say he's benched against the Raiders next week.
It doesn't make any sense. Yeah. I mean, 2023 number 1 pick, and you bench him after 2 games? What are we doing?
I think that's an admission of we made a mistake. Yeah. Aboard.
Probably should have. I wonder though, because there's talks that they wanted to get Shroud, right? That's what Reich wanted, and they didn't. Obviously, they went with with their guy here. But if Shroud did go to Carolina, I mean, would he be just as terrible right now as we're looking Carolina being right now?
Like, I think he'd be just as bad.
You think so?
I think so. I mean, the roster just looks bad.
Yeah.
They gave up a lot to move up and get that number 1 spot. So then you don't have a lot of draft capital to backfill your roster or put any other young talent with it. So,
yeah,
they're not in a good spot.
It's crazy. The Vikings came away with an upset win, 23-17 over the 49ers. Sam Darnold, baby. I mean, what can you say? Although JJ looked like he was limping at the end of the game, hopefully he's not injury or isn't going to be on the IR or anything of that nature. It seems to be like a crazy week of injuries. I mean, you got AJ Brown is now out tonight for the Eagles, who they're playing the Falcons tonight. Yep. You've got Pacheco out with that leg injury. You got Kupp out with the foot injury. You got Puka out with the foot injury. It's just Debo's now out with a leg injury. It's just crazy, man. I don't know what's going on here.
I think a lot of it has to do with the conditioning of the preseason. We talked about it a little bit of, that balance of if you get up to 20 regular season games and you get rid of 2 preseason games, is there's going to be a lot of early football that's not very good,
Right.
because these guys aren't conditioned. They're not ready for it. And all the big news pundits today were talking about that you got to train your body. Your body has to be ready. And I just think we're seeing that across the league, that guys' bodies are not ready.
Yeah. The Browns come away with the W here, 18-13 over the Jags. The Jets win over the Titans, 24-17. Calamari and the Cardinals get the win against the Rams, 41-10. The Chiefs just won't stop winning, 26-25 over the Bengals. The Steelers, 13-6. God, just 10 wins. Lock it in, baby. Texans come away with the victory over the Bears on Sunday night, 19-13. And let's get to it, man. The Raiders beating the Ravens, 26-23.
You always have hope that your team is gonna shock the world any given Sunday, right? Whatever cliches you want to use. I did not think the Raiders were going to go across to face the Baltimore Ravens and beat them. Not with the offensive showing that we saw last week. With that said, they got the win, which was great. It was a defensive effort. I know 23 points, but the defense made the plays when they needed to. The offense in the second half came out, and they started to find 2 playmakers, Davante Adams and Brock Bowers. So in this showcasing, you really saw why they took Brock Bowers at 13. You see Davante Adams is still a legit number 1. Just put it anywhere near him, you got a high probability that he's going to make a play on the ball. And you had Jacoby Myers and other players make timely catches when they needed to. I think defensively, teams they're going to take away the run. You got running backs that aren't really proven. You let Josh Jacobs go. So that running game is non-existent for the Raiders. The offensive line is awful. Colton Miller does not look like Colton Miller right now. I think if you gave any quarterback behind there a little bit of time, you're going to be able to hit some plays. You're going to be able to hit some guys because their skill position players are still really good. They have good players. You saw that in the first half. Minshew's running around. We were laughing at it. He was 8 or like 25 yards or something ridiculous.
Yeah.
He comes out in the second half. It's a whole different quarterback, the whole different team. It was a great moment where Max Crosby came over after the turnover and, had his hand in Minshew's chest and said, "We got your back. We're going to get the ball back." And the defense put the team back in position to win. I think the Raiders overall are a good, well-coached team. We talked about this when we were watching it. Since Antonio Pierce has taken over, penalties are way down. I don't even know if they gave up a penalty. I don't even know. I would have to look it up, but they didn't give up very many. Do you say a disciplined Raiders team, offensively, defensively? My entire life, they have been one of the most penalized teams, and to see this, to see them buttoned up was great. They got the defense, they got special. The Raiders, they're one of those teams. No matter what era, what generation, they're going to have a kicker and a punter. They finally got a defense. We just needed a little more out of the quarterback, but I think that starts with the offensive line. Yeah. The offensive line really needs to step up. And I know it's not Aaron Rodgers or Joe Montana or Tom Brady back there, but you got to at least give your guy a chance, whether it's Minshew or AOC. Give them a chance. Outside of these 2 games, the Raiders were only good in 2 quarters, and that was the 2 quarters against the Ravens. Offensively. You get a little bit of a break next week against Carolina, but hey, Andy Dalton can come in here and kick your ass too. So don't sleep on Carolina. You got to go out there and take care of business. Don't look ahead. I was doing that a little bit this morning. The schedule is a little bit in your favor if you're a Raider fan. If you are the Raiders, it's in your favor. It's there. especially until I think you see Kansas City week 6 or 7.
Yeah.
So you got a really good chance to stack some wins and maybe sneak in as a wild card. But you got to handle business. You got to get the offensive line in line. Pass the ball first. They're not going to respect the run until you start beating them with the pass. So I think that opening drive, whatever, with the ball, you got to come out pass happy, strike quick, strike fast, and make them respect the run.
Yeah, absolutely. Andy, Red Rocket over here. Cock the red rifle, baby. He can come in and change up that whole game if he's on one. But again, don't sleep on him. I guarantee you that's what the Ravens did to the Raiders and bit him in the face. So
yeah, absolutely.